What's up guys, today I am showing you how good these new legendary modern structure decks are. So with this video, we're gonna be putting together a competitive deck list with just the structure decks. Yes, I got 3. You only really need 1 to make a competitive deck, but I got 3 because I wanted a couple extra chances at pulling a starlight. So obviously 3 is better than 1. I'm crossing my fingers for a camellia or something like that. So that's why I got 3. For this deck list, we are going to use all 3 structure decks. We will have a full play set of like Fuwalos and the other Charmies. Other than that, the only cards that we are gonna put into this deck are cards from these structure decks. So nothing from outside sources. Overall, I think it's gonna be a really good deck. But before we get into the deck list, let's open up these packs and see if I pull a starlight. All right, first one. Ooh, and it comes face down like that. So there's the 3. Let's open all of them and just have them like this, face down. Yep, there's these. All right, so we got all 9 structure decks, and then we have the extra cards. So let's put these to the side. These are the X-Sabers, Sky Striker. I kind of want to learn this deck. And then here is the Mitsu. This is the deck we are building out today. So I'm excited. Now this is the most exciting part of this video for me because I really hope I pull a starlight. So I'm gonna start right to left. Cool, we got the secret Saji. I don't know if they're on the top or the bottom, but we're gonna open these up. We're gonna see what the additional cards I pull are. So Saji, Ace, and Commander. The Ray and the Commander. That's kind of cool. I'm not mad at it. Not a starlight, but pretty cool. So this next one, cool. We got a secret Murakumo. I don't know if they're supposed to be on the top or the bottom, but we will see. All right, no starlight again. We did get a secret Rhoda, which is kind of cool. And then another one of these guys. Not mad at it. Let's open this one. Okay, we got the secret Armasa. All right, moment of truth. The 3 cards. Can I get a starlight? No. But I did get a secret Camellia, which is tight. I really wanted this card. So now instead of the 3 Ultras, I have a secret Camellia, which I'm not mad at this. Obviously wish I pulled a starlight, but this is fine with me. All the secrets are pretty nice. So now I'm gonna sleeve up the cards for the deck and we're gonna get straight into the deck list. All right, got the cards all sleeved up and ready to go. It's a 40 card list. I got 15 in the extra, 15 in the side. I'll probably give whoever receives this deck extra copies of certain cards just so they can play with ratios and stuff. So I'm editing this video right now and I just realized I made a comment about whoever's receiving this deck. I didn't tell you guys yet, but I am giving this deck away. So the entire deck list that we're about to go over is the deck that I'm going to be giving to one of you guys. All you gotta do is stick around till the end and find out how you can get it, and this deck could be yours. But with that being said, let's get back into the video. Starting off with the monsters, obviously the 1 Habakiri. It's at 1, so you have to play it at 1. I'm gonna play 2 Murakumo. Murakumo is the boss monster, so in all the lists I've ever played, I always play it at 2, especially pure, so have it at 2 is pretty good. The 1 Futsu, Futsu is low-key super annoying and is really good. You have this on the field, your opponent has to deal with it, or it's just a monster reborn every time they special summon. So it's a really good card. The best normal summon, I would say, is probably this, so I play at 3. The Armasa. You normal summon, get Habakiri, the 1 of Saji. Sometimes I see people playing 2 or 3. I've always just tried to lower the count, so I always play it at 1. This is probably one of the cards that whoever gets this deck will probably get 3 of these just so they can play with the ratios themselves. The 1 of Kusanagi, this is just a 1 of. Like, it is really bad to draw, and it's just an important piece of the combo that you need. So this is the full Mitsu monster list. Then there's just 2 more that I've added because they came into the structure deck. I do play Night Sword Serpent in my actual deck. This is just really good. It gets you into any Link 2 or any rank 4, so this is just like your honorary Mitsu card. And then this last one, I've never really played this card, but adding a 4th normal summon is not really that bad. And if you guys want to test it out, you guys can obviously take it out or keep it in. So this is the monster lineup that this deck list is gonna have. Overall, I think it's pretty solid. The only thing that is different in this monster lineup than my personal deck is the 10,000 hands, but I can see the value in it and I've seen people play it. So I want to give you guys the option to play it if you want. So this is the list for the monsters. Let's move on to the spells. So moving on to the spells, we're gonna start off with Mitsurugi Ritual. It's just 3 of it. It's such a good card. It's not bad opening 2 of them. Obviously you just want to open 1 because full combo will get you them out and give you all the ways you need a ritual anyways, but Opening up Ritual is not bad. Triple Prayer is one of the best cards in the game. You gotta play it at 3 until it gets hit, so playing it at 3. We're going 3 pre-prep. Obviously, it's a 1-card starter. It gets you everything you need for the deck. And then the 1 Ritual that goes with the pre-prep, so you go 3 and 1. I've honestly bricked on this more than I've ever bricked on any card in any deck I've ever played, but it's just, if you open pre-prep, it's just so good, so you have to play it, and it's honestly a really good card, but it can tend to make your hand a little bit bricky. Luckily, it's a 1-of. Then I'm playing 1 Magatama. Magatama is just a really good card. It pops, it tributes, it can be a ritual spell, so overall playing at 1, I usually have this card as a side in or out, depending on going first or second. Really good. And then the Omni-Negate trap, the 1-of, obviously you get this throughout the combo, and it's just one of the best traps in the game. So this is the spell and trap lineup for the engine. Now we're gonna move on to the non-engine. We're gonna start off with 3 Fuwalos. This is one reason why I got 3 of the extra decks. You get 1 in each. So being able to have 3 Fuwalos, it's just one of the best hand traps in the game right now, so you have to play it. So you're running 3 of them. We're going 3 Ash, it's Ash, you gotta run 3. This next one is contingent on who's playing what, but I'm throwing 3 Nibiru in here. 1, it tributes your monsters. It's not terrible to have. Most decks right now are playing over the 5. Some of them have outs for Nibiru, but having 3 in the main deck isn't a bad thing, especially because it'll tribute your monsters. Then I'm gonna go 1 Call By, just a really good card. 1 Talents, obviously Call By and Talents are 2 of the best cards in the game. And then here is the pot lineup. We're going 1 Prosperity and 2 Extrav for consistency. You could run 3 Extrav if you want. I'll include a 3rd just in case you guys want it. And then the last card in the non-engine is triple Droplet. I think Droplet's one of the best cards in the game right now. Being able to get 9 copies of Droplet in 3 structure decks is crazy. So definitely running 3 Droplet in the main. There's gonna be a lot of 2-ofs in this because of the pots, but also having multiple copies of extra deck monsters that are staples is pretty good. So we're gonna start off with the links. We're going double IP, double SP, double Dynamundo, and double Dark. So obviously if you're gonna use Extrav or Pot of Prosperity, you wanna have cards that can be sent, and you still want to be able to play one. So this lineup, I think your 3 most important end board cards are SP, IP, and Dynamundo. So definitely having multiple of those. Dark can be an out to certain decks, plus an extender depending on what you're playing or who you're playing against. So I just decided, let's make all the links 2-ofs. And then I think we have 1 other 2-of in the rest of the deck, but the rest are XYZs. So we'll move on to that now. So the XYZs of the extra deck are 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 Exciton, 1 Bagushka, 1 Dugaris, 1 number 90, and then we're going with 2 Typhons. I said there was 1 that's another 2-of. Typhon's kind of an important card if it's your only out, so I figured let's just make that another double, and then the rest are just 1-ofs. I was thinking of also putting a second Bagushka in there. I'll give that card as an extra card as well. Overall, this is kind of the standard lineup. I've never really ran number 90 in my personal deck, but it's not bad. Zombie Vampire is kind of good in this. There's a lot of other cards that are good in this. Now this lineup with the 8 links that I've already shown is just pretty strong. It gives you every option that you need, and if you want to change something out, all the additional cards that you could potentially want to change out are only a couple bucks here or there. So like, this is a great foundation just to be able to start playing the game and playing it at a very high level. Having that many staples come from 3 structure decks is crazy to me. So overall, I think this is a really strong extra deck, and I think it's kind of all you need until you want to do any kind of rarity bump or any one-offs that you want to change out. But overall, this is like a really good starting point. Now for the side deck, I feel like I kind of struggle with building side decks myself, but because we're limited to what these structure decks have given us, and they've given us some really good staples, it wasn't too hard to build this side deck. So we're starting off with the monsters. We're going 1 Wosu. So this is our out for like towers and like boss monsters because you can just tribute them. Then we're gonna go triple Perulia and triple Meows. Now with this, obviously Meows might not really be in the meta right now, but having all 9 Charmies from the structure decks is kind of crazy. And like, when it is in the meta, it is an incredible card. So just having all 9 is, I think, important to have at least a copy of. And Perulia is really good this meta, so you can definitely side this in. You can switch things out, but overall, like, having these 6 in the side and having the 3 Fua in the main to have all 9 Charmies is really strong and really important. And then the rest of the cards are spells. We're gonna go 2 Thrust, 1 Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, and 3 Regeki. And this is just a full thrust package. Plus thrust can get you like pre-prep and other cards that you have in your main already. So siding in triple tactics thrust is pretty good. And then obviously Duster and Lightning Storm are some really good staples, and Regeki is just like being able to destroy all the monsters on your opponent's field is really good. So overall, there's a lot of things you can change in the side, but to have these staples to start off with is just really good. I think I'm gonna give you guys a 3rd copy of Lightning Storm and a 3rd copy of Thrust so you can play with ratios. But overall, I think this list is pretty solid for coming straight out of just a structure deck. Just so you guys can see the additional cards I'm adding to the deck for the giveaway, just so you can have full play sets and play with certain ratios you want, is I'm gonna add an additional Extrav, an additional Lightning Storm, an additional Thrust. Then I'm gonna include 3 Imperm just to have another staple because I didn't include it in the deck, but it's also a really good staple. I'm gonna add 2 more Saji, so if you wanna play 3 or up to 3, you can. And then I'm gonna add a 2nd Exciton and a 2nd Bagushka, just in case these are the 2 ofs that you want to have in the extra deck. But overall, you'll have a full play set of all of these cards now. And then you obviously have the 40 card deck, the 15 card side deck, and the full extra deck. Overall, I think with these cards, you could go to a locals right now and win. Now, overall, if you're just getting into this game and want to learn a good deck, Mitsurugi is incredibly powerful, and you get so many staples in the structure deck that you definitely can go to a local and be competitive. Hopefully, Habakiri or Prayers doesn't get hit for a little while so they can sell this product. If anything, they're gonna hit Prayers, and that's gonna hurt the deck a lot. But because you have all of the non-engine in this, all you gotta do is find another core that you like and get the low rarities of them, and you can potentially spend no money and transition into a new deck. So I'm a big fan of this structure deck. I'm a big fan of the cost of it. And I think if you're just getting into Yu-Gi-Oh, go buy one of these. Just buy a single one, it's 30 bucks. You can learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh at the highest level. You don't need more than that. The only card that I can think of off the top of my head that's not in this deck right here that would make this deck a lot better is the Dominus Impulse cards, but those are just expensive and they're not necessarily needed. You don't need the Dominus Impulse cards to be competitive, but overall, I think this structure deck is probably the greatest structure deck Konami has ever made. So if you're trying to play, go out and get one. I know I've been ranting for a little bit, but with everything that I've already said, I want to give this deck away. I think it's pretty strong and it's a really good deck to learn. It was one of the first engines that I learned when I first got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! I got back in when Raizo came out. So I learned Raizo, and then this came out and they had King of the Pharaoh Imp, so it was just a perfect match, and it was just literally 1 Murakumo and then the 3 monsters. Overall, the engine was really good, and learning it when I first started out was just really easy. So I want to bless someone and give them this structure deck. What I want you guys to do is comment down below someone that you think needs this deck. Whatever comment I think deserves it the most, I'm just gonna pick that comment, reply to it, and then have you guys DM me on Instagram, and then I'll get your shipping address and send it away. So that's all I need you to do. You don't even have to follow me. All you need to do if you want this structure deck is make sure you comment on this video and just have a good reason for whoever you're trying to get this structure deck for. I don't want it to be for yourself. I want it to be for someone that you think needs it and or wants to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! So just let me know your reasonings, and whoever I think deserves it the most, I'm gonna pick the giveaway winner by next Tuesday, which is March 24th. So if you comment on this video anytime before March 24th, you have a chance of getting it. So just make sure you comment and give me a good reason. So good luck to everyone. I hope whoever gets this deck really needs it, and I hope whoever gets it really gets into Yu-Gi-Oh! And really learns the game. I honestly might give the Sky Striker stuff away too. I'm gonna just learn it first, and then I'm probably not gonna stick with it. So that will potentially be a video coming up too. But right now, this is what I wanna do. Just make sure you do what I said before. Now with all that being said, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, good rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.